Hello, everybody. Here we are moving ahead in Exodus. We're in chapter 27. We got more of the same, more of the blueprint, might I say, for the tabernacle. Okay, and again, things are situated here as a replica of the North Star in heaven. And these are specific instructions, and what we can do here is with our mind and spirit, we can sit back and think about this and what it really looked like. And it's here for a reason, okay? So, this is where Jesus Christ in the whirlwind would come down and meet with the children of Israel. And the fashion is like the tabernacle in the middle and things to the north, to the south, to the east and the west, like the pancake of the earth. So that's what it's based on. This was meant to be in the middle of the children of Israel. Okay, and this will all be fulfilled with the New Jerusalem. I want to reiterate that. In 27... Verse 1, and thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long. There's the 5 again, folks. And 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. All right, now, when you're imagining this, when you are picturing this in your mind, it'd be a better word for it, remember that the cubit is 22 inches. You'll hear people talk about, say, the Nephilim, and they'll use the English cubit, which is 18 inches. Well, that's quite a difference. That's the 4 inches per cubit, and so but we want to be as accurate as possible. And so this is just short of 2 feet, a cubit, okay? Okay. So on we go here in verse 2. It says, and thou shalt make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same, and thou shalt overlay them with brass. Okay. A horn, it represents the horn of power. And that's in similitude, and here it is a replica. And this represents those 4 powers, the 4 covering cherubs, the white, the red, the black, and the pale, the 4 horses, the 4 chariots of horses, the 4 winds they're called, the 4 carpenters they're referred to. All right, so that's over that. Here's the 4 corners. 3, and it says, and thou shalt make his pans to receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. All the vessels thereof thou shalt make of brass. And remember, this is for the ceremony, and the ceremony is for teaching. It is not just something that the Lord put out there and said, do it. It is there to instruct the people, the Israelites, and now us, by going through the Lord's doctrine here. Okay, so here it is. In the 4 corners thereof. In 4, it says, and thou shalt make for it a grate of network of brass, and upon the net shalt thou make 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof. Okay, and you always see this when it comes to the firmament of the earth. You see the four parts, okay? And we're going to have that. We have that today. As the prophecy said that we would have the king of the north, south, power of the west, and the kings of the east in the last days, those 4 great trading blocks. Folks, it's up and running. It just isn't on the evening news, okay, because we get yesterday's wine with today's BS, okay? In 5, now there's that number. You keep seeing this number over and over. 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10. Anyway, in 5 it says, and thou shalt put it under the compass of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. And here's your 6. You see that over and over, and that has meaning. Okay, it has meaning on the good side, and it has meaning on the devil's side. All right. And thou shalt make staves for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. Period. And in 7, and once again, it's God's holy number, and the devil comes in and tries to steal it for his number of new beginnings when it's our number of fulfillment. 7, 7, and 7, 21. In 7 it says, and the staves shall be put into the rings, and the staves shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. Again, this is a tabernacle in motion. 8, that's our number of new beginnings. It says, hollow with boards shalt thou make it, as it was shewed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. Again, replica of heaven shown to Moses and given to the people of the wisdom that could make this for the Lord. In a new paragraph in 9, and thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle for the south side southward. There shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen of 100 cubits long for one side. And with 100, that you can break that down into the 5s. All right? You take the number 10, 10 commandments, multiply it times what? Times 10. What do you get? Okay, so there's that. We have all these 5s in here. In 10 it says, and the 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be of brass, the hooks of the pillars, and their fillets shall be of silver. Period. And once again, you got the 20, that's 4 5s. In 11, and likewise for the north side in length, there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, and his 20 pillars, and their 20 sockets of brass, the hooks of the pillars, and their fillets of silver. Once again, there's your 5s, there's your 10s, and that is to the north side. In 12, a new paragraph. And for the breadth of the court, on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. Okay, there you have all the 5s again. 13, and the breadth of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits. Once again, there you have the 3 5s. Their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. See how this is all done in these numbers, okay? 16, it says, and for the gate of the court shall be an hanging of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework, and their pillars shall be 4, and their sockets 4. And there's your 4 corners, folks. In 17, all the pillars round about the court shall be filleted with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. 18, and we've discussed that number 18, the 3 6s. But here it is. That's just a number here, and with a new paragraph, that is. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, their sockets of brass. Once again, there you have the 5s in the law. Okay, I'm not poo-pooing the number 18 because it contains the 6, and for us on the Good Guys team, we add that out. I discussed that on the podcast, how 12 half steps go into 7 in God's holy modal system. In fact, if you look at the final New Jerusalem measurements there in Ezekiel, you'll see these 6s here, and it ends up being, I get, once in a while I fly through this and give the wrong measurements. The final New Jerusalem, it'll be as wide and as it is tall. It's 72,000 square furlongs, correct? Okay, so there's that. And it uses these 18s. Okay, so the 6 goes into 7. Okay, I'm going to keep on that. It's basic music theory. The half steps make it, in music it's called a chromatic scale, and it uses all the half steps, and there's 12 of those. Now, when it comes to a major scale, a 7-note scale, there are 12 of those. 12 goes into 7, 7 goes into 12. It's all through the throne of God. It's all through the tabernacle, and it will be here with the New Jerusalem there, and gone over monotonously at the end of Ezekiel. I guess I shouldn't say that. It's all important, but it is really drummed in there at the end of the great, great, great prophecy book, Ezekiel. Okay. Anyway, 19, it says, all the vessels of the tabernacle in all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. 20, new paragraph, and thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring thee pure oil, olive beaten, for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always. Has anybody here ever smelled a lamp of this type of oil? No? Here at the table, we've never smelled it, but I'll bet it smells good when it's burning. 21, new paragraph. In the tabernacle of the congregation, without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel. And that will come back with the New Jerusalem. These things will be fulfilled with the New Jerusalem. Okay, and we're going to go right ahead here with all this. These numbers here are repeated in the Bible. They're repeated over and over, and they have meaning. So, that being said, we'll keep going here and we're putting something up good and soon on the next CD.